the ability to throw combinations. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Those were some stinging shots. They weren't just arm shots. I mean, his head was rocking around.
They were snappy. Yeah, I was oohing and ahhing as he was doing that.
Which is sort of cool.
I don't do that very often.
I know, but it's sort of cool to ooh and ah again. Yeah. And this is what I've been trying to tell people. This is the guy to ooh and ah about. And they keep looking at me, oh, man, come on. Is he Mexican? Yeah, but he ain't Mexican from Mexico. He's Mexican-American. I think he's like Mexican-Ecuadorian or something like that, right?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's Ecuadorian. Yeah. So the bottom line is, so he isn't a full Mexican per se, and they sort of treat him like they did De La Hoya.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's a white Mexican or something like that. Because the other night, even though he had the crowd behind him in the whole 9 yards, Canelo still has this aura about him, this aura of greatness about him that people still believe in, and I think he's a shadow of his former self.
Yeah, he's not the fighter he was 5 years ago for sure.
Okay, speaking of fighter that's going to be great now, and I think he'll last another few years, the great David Benavidez.
David, congratulations. 168, 175, now 200, the only man to ever do that.
I'm very happy, man. Primeramente le quiero dar las gracias a toda mi gente, toda mi raza que vinieron a apoyar. Los quiero mucho. ¡Monstruo! ¡Monstruo!
Please translate for us what you just said.
I just said thank you all my people that came out to support. Man, I love every single one of you, man. You guys give me the strength and power that I need to come in here and give the fights, these type of fights. So you guys are my engine to my motivation. So thank you so much.
How did you pull this off? This was a tough guy, and boy, did he hang in there, and he took tremendous punishment and kept coming back.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to outpower him because my first time coming up to 200. So I knew I had to use the gifts that God gave me. Speed, power, movement, point selection, and IQ. That's exactly what I did.
He's on his way now to the hospital here locally in Las Vegas. We wish him well. What did you say to him as he leaves the ring?
I just wanted to give him thanks for the opportunity. I love Souza Ramirez. You know, we came up together. We came up sparring together. I got him ready for his World Championship fights. He got me ready for my World Championship fights. So I'm kind of sad it had to happen like this. You know, I love Souza Ramirez, but you know, it is what it is in here. There's only one monster.
Was there anything that you were able to use from those 200 rounds of sparring that were effective this evening?
Yeah, I knew that the combinations were going to be able to land, you know, easy. You know, my combination, my punch selection is unlike anything else. You know, so I knew whoever it is, man. I don't care who it is, man. Nobody can me.
To do this on Cinco de Mayo weekend, and to now be the man who is being looked at on this holiday. How do you take that?
I feel good, man. I just want to give the fans what they want to see. I seen Canelo in the building. Hey, let me just ask the fans this. Do you guys want to see Canelo versus David Benavidez? Enough said. That means that we can't leave that fight on the table. You know what I mean? Whatever. I have respect for Canelo. He's a great champion. But I'm a great champion too. Let's do it.
Do you believe it's realistic?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You've been through this many times.
I mean, I'm still champion at 175. I'm champion at 200 and 175. So they want to come get it at 175. Let's get it at 175.
And if not him, how about Bivol?
Yeah, Bivol's the number one on my hit list. You know, Bivol he's a great competitor, great champion. But I'm a great champion too. I just want to test myself every single fight.
And finally, go ahead in Spanish, the Mexican monster.
Monster! What time is it? Monster! Hey, saludo a toda mi gente, toda mi raza, y también arriba la finiquera, la verga.
Congratulations on this historic evening, David.
Thank you guys.
See, he said, I don't know what he said. Do you know Spanish in the other room? He said something about his male instrument. That was VERGA. That means male instrument, appendage, whatever, call it what you want. Bottom line is his third leg. That's what he was talking about. I have no idea what he was doing with it, but the bottom line is he mentioned it in Spanish going out. Of course, the monster is just that. The monster, no doubt about that. 32 and zip, 26 KOs, of course. Wow, the Gilberto Ramirez win was big. The Yardy win was big, but people thought that Yardy was a little bit done before that. David Morrell, of course, that was we talked about David Morrell. In fact, David Morrell getting lit up by Zach Chelly, a 20-1 underdog last night. Did you see that coming?
Not at all. No, not at all. But I think Chile did after about the third round. I could see Chile growing after the fight and his confidence.
Yeah. You go.
He's totally lost his spark, Morel.
Well, here's what's up. You go from being. You see, I guess he didn't have the confidence in himself. You go from like doubting yourself to saying, "Wait a second here.
Yeah.
Wait a second here." Yeah, because he sees the opportunity.
I think he realized that Morel didn't have any pop in his punches, did he?
I never thought he was that big of a puncher per se. But
I thought he could punch pretty good, but he just didn't. He's lost his zip. I think Benavidez might have taken his.
He might have, or the fact that I talked about it earlier. And Joe Casamore won the 1992 Olympic gold medal in the Olympics, right? I looked real close at him in the interview soon thereafter, and I noticed that his roots were gray.
Okay.
It was his hair roots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to say is, Cuban fighters, Dominican fighters, who else are we talking about? Colombian fighters, Puerto Ricans, they sort of have a little bit more authoritarian as far as birth certificate is concerned. But Dominicans, Panamanians, Colombians, and Russians lie notoriously about their wage. The Cubans. I mean, because if the guy was 30, if he was 32, I was 9.
Yeah. No, I think Morel lacks a bit of meanness as well for the pro game.
No ghetto?
I think so. He's always wanted to tap gloves. He smells.
Do you think Nakatani lacks ghetto? I talked about that not having enough street in him.
I don't know about that. I think he was just he just took too long to get into the fight, didn't he? But I think that was Rudy Fernandez was holding him back a little.
Rudy was on the show in hour 1.
Okay. Yeah.
And he said the word mother ducker with an F 3 or 4 different times, and I told him to shut up after the first one to say, and he kept saying it, and I'm watching my producer in the other room. He's like, he just finally said, "F it." I mean, that's what he said. Yeah, he didn't. I can tell him, we're gonna let it roll. We get through this. I'll edit them out afterwards. But Rudy, I thought Rudy's guy choked. I thought he was a bigger guy there, bro. He was a taller guy. He should have been trying to impose his will more. He didn't try enough. Listen,
there's a lot coming back at him, so
yeah.
Better than done, I think.
Yeah, but in other words, you go down in a hail of bullets.
I think he would in a rematch. I think this time he.
Oh man, you put one of pushing that rematch.
I think it'll probably happen. Yeah,
90,000 people this time.
Maybe. I think it'll be a livelier fight, the rematch, actually. But
I think so too.
I think the later rounds were pretty exciting. So,
but it wasn't.
I like watching the technical stuff. Anyway, when they're
and I'm down with you because the monster, call him what you want, in Illinois, of course, 33-0 now, and Junto Nakatani losing the first time, 32-1. I just with Rudy Fernandez in the corner, I expected more. I expected more of those mother duckers in the corner than I expected on the show. Okay, can you relate to that?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I mean, what?
I had a lot of respect.
You saw what's his name slap the spit out of what's his name last night.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I mean, he'd have slapped me the first time. I'd have corrected him right then and there. Okay, and if he did it the second time, we'd have had a beef in the corner.
Yeah, sometimes you need that little spark, don't you?
No, that wasn't a little spark. One time, my mother slapped me. Made my ears ring for 3 days. Okay, she should have been arrested for assault. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that's how hard that slap was.
Yeah.
That was that make your ears. He slapped him. He slapped the spit out of him. Spit with an H.
Yeah, I think Dubois needs that sometimes, though, doesn't he? He kind of
as intellectually limited as you consider him, adult, not an adult, ADOLT, not adult. He was smart enough to take that knee in the third round. Whoa.
Yeah. No, his instincts were good there for sure. But I think he does lack. He doesn't think when he fights. I think he's just kind of programmed, isn't he?
Okay,
he's programmed well.
So why do you want to? If you were Fabio Wardley's family, would you want him to fight again?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's at least you said that's a tough one because most guys, yeah.
To see how he looks, yeah.
Because
he's got to take a big break. He's had some tough fights recently. The Parker fight was tough as well.
Yeah, speaking of Parker, man, he tested positive for cocaine. He tested positive for cocaine. That means you were doing blow in the last 72 to 90 hours before the fight, right? Yeah. Did the British Board of Boxing Control bury that? I never heard anything about it.
Yeah, I've not heard much since. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to have disappeared.
I don't know
what's going on there. It still seems weird to me that Parker would get involved, but who knows?
Well, here's what you can't plant that in somebody's system.
No,
when you pee in a bottle, it's your pee.
Yeah.
Except if you're Tony Willis, because I saw Roger Mayweather pee in a cup for him in Las Vegas one time.
Yeah,
Tony comes out of the ring. I forget who Tony was fighting, and he had a big ball of a big ball in his sock, like a wad of money or something like that. It was his cocaine. He didn't want to leave his cocaine in the locker room because he was scared. Another guy, Kid Akeem Antifashi, remember him? He died in that fight with Robert Kroger about in the 90s, 1995, in Texas, this and that. When they took off his cup to put him in the ambulance, they found cocaine in his balls. In his scrotum area. He had, what's this thing with Coke? I can't get away from my Coke. Of course, I'm talking about Coke. Well, listen, when I mention Coke on this show, folks, when I say that Larry Merchant does Coke, I'm talking about Coca-Cola. Okay? I'm not, Mexican Coke, people say to me, oh my God, he does Mexican Coke. Is Larry tight with the cartel? No, Larry's not tight with the cartel. Larry and I drink a little bit of Coke. Larry drinks those little mini cans.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's enough for him.
That's probably the best way to go.
Yeah, but I'm hooked on those things, man. Last night I had a Mexican Coke, this and that. I treasure it like it was a hooker and I was 19.
Yeah, they taste better than Mexican Cokes.
They did, no doubt about that. Now, what's the future look like for David Benavidez? Where does he go? If you were to pick a fight, does he go to B-Ball?
Definitely. I think he's got to clean his plate at 175. I think Bivol, Beterbiev if he wants it. And then he could go to England and fight Whittaker, because he's going to be a big star. Have a big stadium glamour fight. And then go up and fight Opetaia if he's still around. That'd be my...
Opetaia's the unknown, the guy that we sort of haven't talked about this and that. And between you and I, but I think he might be the best cruiserweight in the world. Just keep that quiet.
I think he probably... Well, between him and...
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
It's close. And until here's what's up.
That would be a violent fight.
I know, but size matters. Do things point out even in combat sports. And Jai has a natural size.
Yeah. He's a little more wild and ragged than Benavidez, though. Benavidez is a little tighter, isn't he?
Pretty disciplined.
So that would be a heavy punch and fight. There's no doubt about it. It would be one of the best fights you could make.
When I watched him walk in the ring the other night, I'm sitting there watching him, and he has an aura about him. And there's not too many fighters that have this aura.
That kind of regal thing.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Hagler had that aura. You know what I'm saying? This monstrous aura. Hagler had it. A few other guys had it.
He knew he looks that way. With all the belts in the ring before the Nakatani fight, I was looking at him and he looked like a real champion.
Yeah, there's no, and I'm not saying he isn't a real champion. What I'm trying to say is that both, back to that just for a second, both those guys could have raised the temperature a little bit.
Yeah. I think they would in a rematch.
Oh, maybe trying to sell this rematch. Straight up, you are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide with Barry Rabbit. You're tuned to the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.